Hey, hi there, and welcome back to another episode of Sit and Spin with me, your host, Joe. It's our first official show of 2014, not counting the super cool mashup I did with my buddy Scott over at Righteous Vinyl, where we talked about our 5 favorite vinyl releases of last year, 2013. But this is the first show of 2014 for me, and as such, I got a double dose of one of my favorite bands. Has 2 new releases out, or 2 recent releases, I should say. One of them which just came out this past week, another one that came out back at the end of last year, which I almost did a show on then, but then when I found out they had this release coming out like less than a month away, I just said, save them, do them together, have a cool opening double salvo for the first opening shot of Sit and Spin this year. And that would be the band, the Gaslight Anthem, and their new release, the B-Sides, which, as you would imagine, is a collection of B-Sides of the band's many singles. What is awesome about this is rather than go and try to chase down all of those myriad 45s, which the way most of them are released, or sometimes it's import UK CD singles, which is very time-consuming and expensive and a pain in the butt, or buy the nice deluxe wooden box set of 45s that they issued, which is kind of expensive, and if you already have all the A-sides that you don't really need, this is a great way just to get those tunes you don't have. It's 11 tracks featuring songs, the song She Loves You, which is not the Beatles cover, but is a fan favorite that hadn't appeared on anything else. But there are a lot of other cool covers on this as well, including great versions of Pearl Jam's Fate and the Love and Trust, which you'll probably hear shortly, the Rolling Stones' Tumbling Dice, as well as covers of the band's Fake Problems, Lightning Dust, and Robert Bradley's Blackwater Surprise. God, try saying that fast. As well as acoustic versions of some of the band's more well-known tunes, like 59 Sound, which was the song that got me into the band in the first place, and songs like Great Expectations, American Slang, The Boxer, and Queens of Lower Chelsea. Great to hear some of the acoustic stuff in a different setting with slightly different arrangements, stripped back to their bare essentials. That's always cool, much like the Jellyfish release that came out, show that I did last year. If you didn't see that one, hopefully you checked that out as well. But if you're a Gaslight fan, definitely something you want to pick up. The B-Sides from the Gaslight Anthem. And of course, the other release by the band, which just came out last year, is Live in London. It's a nice little live show, and when I say little, I do mean little. It's only a 10-song set, but as such, it's kind of cheap too. It wasn't very expensive, but it's filmed at the Troxy in London, UK. Back last March in 2013, when the band's handwritten tour, as such as a lot of tracks from that album on there, as well as She Loves You that we talked about on the B-Sides collection, and many of the band's other favorites again, like 59 Sound and American Slang. It's a nice little show, especially since as much of a fan as I am of this band, believe it or not, I've never had the chance to see them live. It's just never worked out well for me. So this was kind of like a nice way to get a little chance to see them live, and they do put on a great show. I do have a few minor complaints about it, mere quibbles. One, that it is such a short show. If you're going to go to all the trouble to put out a live DVD, make it a full show, man. 2, that it only came out on DVD, especially since it was shot digitally, and the digital camera work is really nice. But that leads into another complaint, is that whoever edited this sucks, because it's real quick, multiple cuts. You know, man, stay on the subject for more than 15 seconds. I know you think that that's the attention spans of kids these days, but there's a lot of people who aren't kids that are fans of the band, and it would be really nice to see the show like the way you would actually see a show. It's cool to have cuts, but man, it's overkill. And also, because it's such a short show, there's not a lot of fan interaction. But in the future, hopefully they'll do a more full concert release. But this is nice. In the meantime, it's still nice, and like I said, it's not that expensive, so still worth it, and definitely worth checking out to see the band in a live setting. Gaslight Anthem, live in London. The B-Sides, 2 new releases from one of my favorite bands, and hopefully you like them too. If you don't know anything about them, maybe a good place to start. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for knowing the drowsy dog, who's still not back yet. He is well on the way to recovery, though. He still has another month and a half or so to go. We can finally let him up on the couch upstairs, but we still have to help him. But he's healing well. He's starting to get frisky and lively again, which is really good. It's been very, very trying. Nearly lost our minds a couple of times, but I didn't want to risk him trying to come down the stairs to get down here, because I do not want to re-break that leg. But hopefully he'll be back soon. Thank you for tuning in again, and we will catch you next time on Sit and Spin, where I will have some other goodies coming up for you. some new releases that are coming out, as well as a couple of other holdovers from last year that I didn't quite get around to, just because there hasn't been a lot of new releases coming out. I'm going to have something to talk about. And we will see you then. Take it easy.